It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. We're at the Golden One Center in downtown Sacramento. Tonight, it's the Sacramento Kings getting set to match up with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Won by the Thunder. Jay, without question, one of the biggest moments of the NBA offseason. Paul George, he chooses the Thunder. He stays in OKC.
And how about what Paul George said? He said, it's a perfect opportunity to submit myself and bring a championship where it has never been brought. And I think him and Russ work well off each other. Playoff P wants to be Playoff P all the time. Who better to bring that out of you than the Beast Boy?
From the painted area, won't go down. Buddy Hield. And the defender over pursues, and he's called for it.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
Buddy Hield. Bogdanovich. Tough matchup against George. Had a chance, but it's no good. Westbrook into the front court. He'll run the offense. Nothing going here on that drive. George, another chance. Adams, straight on look. To Adams. The Thunder down to 4 in the shot clock. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Shot clock violation. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
48 wins a year ago for the Thunder. Jay, it took them a while to get to that point, but in so many ways, the Thunder had a great opportunity in the playoffs.
They did. It just seemed like something with their chemistry was a tad bit off with Carmelo Anthony. I think him not being there, him not being in Houston, them getting Andre Robertson back. He's a big-time lockdown defender on the perimeter. You surround him with youth and Hamidou Diallo, Terrence Ferguson, Alex Abrinas. This team has a chance to compete for a Western Conference Finals.
Fox against the former MVP. Oklahoma City's got it. Westbrook to George. That's corralled by Bagley. Fox across the timeline. Looking to make something happen. Has a look. Shot by Fox, no good. Nothing going here on that drive. Westbrook. Five on the shot clock. He's looking for that touch.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Screen coming. De'Aaron Fox to Hield. De'Aaron Fox fires the three. Oh, he couldn't get it to go. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
De'Aaron Fox to Hield. Short jumper off the mark. To Paul George. To Adams. With a drop step. Shot from the lane won't go. To George. Westbrook. Oh, Russell Westbrook. 2 for 3 now here in the first.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Fox into the front court. 5-point game. To Hield. De'Aaron Fox. That's out of bounds. Last touch by a King. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Russ at the controls. To Adams. Probing the defense. Westbrook. And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
Patrick Patterson at the line for 2 shots. Shoots it at 75% for his career. And he connects on the first free throw. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Now a whistle, and it's going to be a timeout for Sacramento as they'll talk things over here in the first quarter. De'Aaron Fox. Down to Cauley Stein. Shot won't go. Westbrook with it. Lead stands at 7. To Adams. Westbrook. Shot clock winding down. From long range. Yes! Three-pointer is good.
This is a game of ways. As a defense, you have to recognize that they come and they go. That will not be the case all the time moving forward.
To Fox. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Russ at the controls. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Russell Westbrook at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 81% free throw shooter. The free throw, good. And they add one more to the lead. It's up to 11. Kings have the basketball. Fox against Adams. To Bagley. It goes down.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
Deep three at the buzzer. That'll do it for the first quarter. The Thunder with the lead. Carmelo Anthony traded, but Sam Presti turns that into Dennis Schroeder, now on a team built to win.
And I love this acquisition by the Thunder. When you think about Schroeder, he is actually almost the opposite of what Russell Westbrook is. He averaged 19 points, 6.5 assists last year for the Hawks, but he is not a ball-dominant guard. He will have the ball in his hands, but he's more apt to make plays quickly with the ball than Russell, who likes to hold on to the ball towards the end of the shot clock.
It's Sacramento ball. Wide open look, won't go. To Schroeder. Baseline drive. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
A drive, but he can't get it to go. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. We're a minute into the second quarter. To Paul George. Trying to cash in. Shot by George, misses. Here's a chance from long range. Can't get the bounce.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
And the rebound taken in by Hield. Gets a look. Can't hit.
And you hate to say this, but this is the reality of the matter. Sometimes it takes guys a little while to warm up into the game. Seems like they finally found their rhythm in the second quarter.
Oh, had him going there for a second. For three. That's good deep. Shot no good.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
To Hield. Has a chance. And that's rebounded by Noel. Here's Schroeder with it. The lead stands at 9. Gets it in the right corner. To Schroeder. Oh, big finish at the rim. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
The Kings will use a timeout as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Driving is Fox, but he can't get it to fall.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short on the shot.
Kings with the ball. Fox against Westbrook. It's rejected by Noel.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Oh, it's blocked by Adams. Ah, that's a 24-second violation. Paul George to Westbrook. The jumper's off the mark.
It's so important to instill confidence in your best player. I know he missed a shot earlier, but that doesn't mean that you can't run the same exact play and let him prove he's a player he thinks he is, and we all know he is.
And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
Oops, he missed the first one. Knocks down the second after missing the first. Sacramento ball. Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Nothing going here on that drive. George to the basket, but it won't go.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket. You're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
Nothing going here on that drive. The pass stolen by Sacramento. Slams it down.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Westbrook into the front court. His team leads it by 10. Nothing going here on that drive. Oh, Russell Westbrook. 4 out of 7.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
De'Aaron Fox. Curling inside. Fires the three. Can't connect. It's no good. To Adams. Westbrook to George. Lets it fly from long range. And Paul George good on the quick release there.
That shot was nice. But that pass, that was the real highlight. Good teams always find a way to get the best shot available.
De'Aaron Fox. Bogdanovich against Paul George. Now pass taken away by the Thunder.
When you're outmatched talent-wise, you cannot get outworked. Get that ball back.
It's the Kings now with the ball. De'Aaron Fox. Takes stock of the floor. Gets a shot up off the mark. Another follow. Stays out. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
The Thunder have built a comfortable lead, and these guys have every reason to feel good about how they scored effectively in that opening half. Great offensive display. These are the guys getting buckets for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Kings did a lot of things wrong in that opening half. There isn't enough time to get into all of their problems, but I'll tell you this, they need to try to get better. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Sacramento Kings.
Game track. Missed threes. Player of the half. Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
Thanks for joining us for the halftime report. The second half is about to get started.
Kings have the basketball. To Bagley. A lot of contact. Shots no good and no foul.
I got it, Ed. In the first half, I heard the way the defense communicated. Here it comes, pass, here comes switch, help. Now, in the second half, you hear active communication. They're assertive. Here he comes, switch, help off the ball screen. I'm fading, I'm shading. That kind of communication is a difference between a winning and a losing team.
Beyond the arc for 3. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
Screen coming. George lets it fly off the mark. Well contested. Baseline drive. Spinning shot won't fall. Oh, straight down the middle for 2.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
George to Adams. Big man, Steven Adams. Not shaken for the early struggles. Maybe this is a sign of things to come.
Old school equals high percentage.
To Bagley. Down to Labissiere. Short jumper won't fall.
We call some of these players practice players. You know, the guys that make 5 out of 10 shots in practice, but then all of a sudden they're not gamers because then they're making 1 of 10. That's exactly what you want him to do. You want him to take those kind of shots.
George shakes 3 and hits. We've seen Paul George's game evolve in recent years. Mixed results, Jay. How does he get back to being that elite two-way guy?
I think he needs to find a way to be aggressive. Let me bring you in and tell you what he dealt with this past year. When you're a guy who's used to having the ball in your hands, you can make more mistakes because you have more possessions. Then all of a sudden, when you play with a ball-dominant guard like Russell Westbrook, you don't have the ball as much, which means you try to make more out of less opportunity that you have. You force the action way more. Look for Paul George to be way more assertive in this game and find his rhythm by having the ball in his hands.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
The one thing we know for certain in this league, it doesn't matter how big the margin is, you can always put together a run and get back in this one.
Here's Westbrook controlling the offense. To Paul George. Turn around, it's good.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Now a whistle. It's going to be a timeout for Sacramento as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Changes coming from both sides right now. To the rim, lays it up and in.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Westbrook across the timeline. His team on top by 13. To Adams. Oh, he had him there for a second. And buries it. Jay, they'll take that any day. Jay, if you're Russell Westbrook, how do you take on the responsibility of getting them over the hump?
You have to own it. And that starts with owning the fact that, yes, you were the first player in the history of the game to average a triple-double back-to-back years, but that did not equate to your team being successful. Sometimes less is more. And he has to make sure that he's surrounded and allowing the players he's surrounded with to help him get to the next level.
To George. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it. This year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Going to launch beyond the arc. That's off the side of the rim, short. Paul George to Westbrook. It's Sacramento ball. The pass taken away by the Kings. Shot from the lane won't go. The shot blocked.
Whoa! Get that out of here.
Message sent, Jay. New blood coming in for both sides. Stuffs it down with authority. Desperation shot here from half court. That ends the third quarter. The Thunder in command of this one. The Thunder have it to start the fourth quarter. You figured they certainly had the advantage coming into this one. Jay, that's how it's played out.
On paper, this wasn't set up to be much of a contest. If the crowd could have gotten into it early, maybe. But sometimes a team is so good that you never had a chance to even start.
And he's fouled. Nice move that time, and he's going to the line for two.
Just because a team's winning doesn't mean the refs are going to put away the whistle. Play right all the way through.
De'Aaron Fox has got 2 shots coming. For his career, 72%. Knocks down the first. No good on the second. It's a 1 of 2 trip.
Everybody pick up. Everybody pick up. D up.
Paul George. Oh, you could sense that coming.
There is a premium market for players with that type of hand-eye coordination.
Knocks it down off the step back.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
OKC ball.
Pick up.
Nothing going here on that drive. Westbrook to Paul George. OKC now with 4 to shoot. 4-3. Textbook defense.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Westbrook with the basketball. Lead is 12. Able to convert inside.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Into the front court. It's Fox. He'll run the offense. To Hield. Cauley-Stein shot misses. George. Great dish to set it up. And a chance coming up at the line.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
First one, count it. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Kings with the ball. De'Aaron Fox. Bogdanovich against the Spaniard Abrinas. De'Aaron Fox. Short jumper stays out.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Schroeder. Nothing going here on that drive. Curling inside. From the painted area, won't go down.
Seems like a lot of contact on that play. If I were that player, I would pull the ref over to the side, talk to him, express to him how much contact there was so he could look for that same foul call potentially the next time down the court.
Has a look. Almost, but no good.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Schroeder. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Dennis Schroeder trying to cash in on a three-point play. For his career, 82%. Free throws good. Add one more to the total. This game feels out of reach. To Fox. To Hield. De'Aaron Fox. Not that time. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
Some players are just built to absorb the contact. He pretty much dusted that defender off like that was a bug at the park.
Schroeder with the basketball. His guys hold a commanding lead. To George. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Paul George can't get that one to go. Defense all over him.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. His guys up by 15. To Paul George. Big man, Steven Adams. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
Fox, guarded by Schroeder. To Randolph. Not done yet. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Now preparing to shoot at the line.
I don't know, Ed. Maybe there's a long-term play here. But next game, we're going to be aggressive early. Maybe.
Paul George, couple of free throws on the way. A career 84% free throw shooter. First free throw is good. Goes 2 for 2. Fox with it. Down a bundle. Bogdanovich, defended by Jeremy Grant. To Hield. Trying to cash in. Wide open look, won't go. Now a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout from OKC as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter. They're going to make some changes with some new personnel on the floor. Paul George. To Westbrook. Has a chance. Off the mark. With defense like that, little margin for error. Fox across the timeline. His guys down big, knocked loose. And he scores. Euro step into the rim, Jay.
Why not? Russell Westbrook is the only guy stopping Russell Westbrook. And when he decides to put his head down and go to the rim, he's going to the rim. It's that easy.
Sacramento ball. Fox against Westbrook. Oh, had him going there for a second. Curling inside. He was hacked. They let it go. Westbrook into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. Add 2 points to the board.
That's what you like. That rip through right into the shot. That's smooth.
Have to respect all elements of his game. Fox into the front court. Looking to make something happen. He shoots. Oh, off the mark. Deep three at the buzzer. Oh, how about that? A three at the buzzer. It's going to bring some icy stares from the other bench. This one is now all over.
Jalen Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Thunder were simply amazing in this contest. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. Check out the leading scores for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Kings lost this game long before the final buzzer. Losses like this
Rebounds.
the Sacramento Kings struggled for position throughout the whole game when shots went up and gave up too many rebounds.
Player of the game.
Russell Westbrook gets the award for the most obvious reason, and that's his scoring output. He couldn't be stopped, and it was incredible to watch.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.